Deals upon deals upon deals. What is shaking, YouTube? I am your host, Lawrence, over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and like always, welcome back to the show. Today is our monthly Elite Comics 11 sales video where I take the top 11 comics that I think sold on Elite Comics 11 consignment page, and of course I rank them for you guys, letting you know who I think got the best deal. But before we get started in that video, I remind you guys, if you're not a current sub of the channel, we're dangerously close to 8,000 subs. We're almost there, so if you're not a sub yet, do yourself a solid. Hit that subscribe button. Do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. We're trying to get the views up. We're trying to get out to 10,000 subs by the end of the year. With that said, let's get into this month's Elite Comics 11 sales breakdown. Starting it off this month at number 11 is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 194, the first appearance of the Black Cat. You guys know I'm a huge Black Cat fan, one of my favorite Spider-Man villains / love interests. This copy in a CGC 9.0 with white pages and that great Black Cat label was listed for $330 by Elite Comics 11. We're going to check out GPA, see what that last sale was. It was actually $320 just last month. The 90-day average, right around that, at $327. The 12-month rolling average, $359. What did this person pay for this book?
Survey says
$330, right at the asking price. I will say this is the second month in a row that this book has been on the Elite Comics 11 sales video, so maybe is it heating up a little bit with all the rumors out there that Sydney Sweeney might be taking the role of Black Cat in the MCU? Remains to be seen. At the 10th spot this month is some more Spider-Man goodness. It is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 252. This one in a CGC 9.8, yet again with white pages, that was listed by Elite Comics 11 for $1,099.
Actual retail price?
A cool $1,000 is what this person paid. Let's check out GPA and see what they say. The last sale was just this month at $1,020. The 90-day average, $1,157 on 13 sales. The 12-month rolling average, $1,243 on a whopping 51 sales. The one thing I have noticed is that Copper Age keys are continuing to come down in price, even in a 9.8. So do your due diligence if you're looking for one of these books in super high grade. Either way, the buyer saved $20 over the last sale and $100 off the asking price. Coming in at number 9 this month is a copy of Tomb of Dracula number 10 in a CGC 3.5 with white pages. Is this the month where everything is white pages on this list? Elite Comics 11 had this book listed for $425. Let's check out GPA. As you can see, the last sale was $415 just last month. Now, 90-day average as well in a 3.5, $415 because we only had one sale in that grade. The 12-month rolling average, $495.
Actual retail price?
The buyer paid $400, $25 off the ask, and $15 off the last sale. Not a bad price considering how few copies sold over the past couple of years in a 3.5. At the 8th spot is a book you do not see come up often, especially in a 9.8. It is a copy of Captain Britain number 1 in a CGC 9.8 with, yet again, white pages. Elite Comics 11 was asking $1,199 for this gem.
Actual retail price?
The buyer paid under asking at $1,075, saving themselves $124 off the ask. But let's see what GPA says. The last sale, according to GPA, was $1,080 just this month. The 90-day average, $1,112 on only 5 sales. And the 12-month rolling average, $1,236 on a crazy 19 sales in a 9.8. Either way, definitely got a deal on a book that doesn't come up that often in a 9.8. At the 7th spot this month is a classic cover, and this may be the classic cover. It is a copy of Silver Surfer number 4 in this iconic gem by John Buscema. Elite Comics 11 offered this book up in a CGC 7.0 with off-white pages for $825. Before we get into the sales price, let's check out GPA. The last sale, according to them, was $850 just last month. The 90-day average, $967 on 4 sales. The 12-month rolling average, though, $1,015 on a whopping 33 sales. In 2023, the average was $1,130 on 28 sales. And of course, way back in 2022, $1,463. What did the buyer pay?
Survey says
A cool $700 for this classic cover. Thank God Elite Comics 11 doesn't report its sales to GPA, or we all could be in a little bit of trouble. But either way, somebody got a good deal in this one, saving $125. I wish I had saw this book listed because I definitely would have picked it up. At number 6 this month is a copy of Transformers number 1 in a CGC 8.0 with white pages. Yes, we're back at the white page thing. Signed by Peter Cullen and Frank Welker. If you guys don't know who they are, they were the voices of Optimus Prime and Megatron from the original cartoon series from the 1980s.
Autobots, transform and roll out!
Regardless, Elite Comics 11 had this book listed for $325.
Actual retail price?
Only $275 for this bad boy. I know if you went to a con and saw Peter Cullen or Frank Welker, you would have spent a lot more money getting these two signatures. This person did it for you. Definitely a decent buy in my opinion. Let's see what GPA says. The last sale according to GPA on this one, $495 way back in June. The 90-day average, again, $495 because we only had one sale with these two signatures on an 8.0 copy. The 12-month rolling average, $482 on 3 sales. To me, this personally definitely got an amazing deal, saving $225 off the last sale according to GPA and $50 off the asking price. Being a child of the 80s, I would have definitely been all over this one. How about some Golden Age goodness? At the 5 spot is a copy of Detective Comics number 36 and the origin and first appearance of Dr. Hugo Strange. Now, this copy is a restored 6.0 with moderate restoration that was offered up by Elite Comics 11 for $6,499 via a fee-free payment. I want to take this moment right now to remind you guys, if you do purchase from Elite Comics 11, everything is 100% guaranteed. With that said, when I went to go check GPA, there are a lot of different sales for restored books according to them in different variations of restoration as well as grades. With that said, they did have a 6.0 that was trimmed that was sold on June 2024 for $5,640. There was another 6.0 that sold way back in September of 2008 for $2,300. And of course, they did have a 5.5 restored copy for $9,600 in the height of mass hysteria, April 2020. What did the buyer pay?
survey says
$5,700 for this rare Batman key. I will say this, if you're in the market for Golden Age Batman, do yourself a favor, make sure you're checking all prices. If you do buy a restored copy, make sure you're comfortable with the restoration that has been done to the book because it does affect the price. Either way, good pickup by this buyer. At the 4 spot this month is some Silver Age goodness. It is a copy of Daredevil number 1. We all know what this book is, the first appearance of Matt Murdock and Daredevil. This is also the first appearance of Foggy Nelson, Karen Page. This book offered up by Elite Comics 11 in a CGC 2.5 with cream to off-white pages for $1,699.
Actual retail price?
$1,600, saving themselves $100 off the asking price. But let's check out GPA and see how they did. The last sale, according to this one, $1,804 just this month. The 90-day average, $1,878 on just 4 sales, and the 12-month rolling average, $1,858. Now, cream to white pages does affect the value of this book. Let's not kid ourselves right here. But for anyone who wants to own this book, paying $100 under ask and $200 on the last sale, I think this person got a pretty good deal. So rounding out the top 3 is another massive Golden Age key. This time it is a copy of Detective Comics number 40 and the first appearance and origin of Clayface, a massive and scarce book. Elite Comics 11 was offering a CGC 4.0 with off-white to white pages with slight restoration for $8,699. As I said before, guys, the level of restoration that appears in a book can actually really cause the price and value to fluctuate for these books. As I like to do with restored books, especially Golden Age books, I like to check out some of the other grades and restoration tiers. And as you guys can see, we have not had a CGC 4.0 with restoration in quite some time. The latest sale was all the way back in December of 2018 for $3,600. We also had another sale of a 4.0 in August of 2012 for only $1,050. Another 4.0, $1,016 in August of 2014. So the price of this book is anyone's guess. Regardless, this book actually ended up selling for
Survey says
$7,500, $1,200 under that last sale. As far as these scarce Golden Age books go, it really comes down to what the person who wants to own the book is willing to pay for that copy. At number 2 on this month's list is a copy of Tales of Suspense number 39, the first appearance of Tony Stark and Iron Man. Elite Comics 11 offered this grail up for $4,399. Let's see what GPA says. The last sale, according to them, in a 1.5 was way back in May of this year for $4,645. No 90-day average. That surprised me a little bit. The 12-month rolling average, $4,498 on just 3 sales. In 2023, the average was $4,452. What does that tell you? Over the past year and a half or so, this book has been pretty steady. Not so much in 2022, where the average was $7,060 on just 5 sales. When we talk about Silver Age grails like this, AF-15, Hulk 1, Journey into Mystery 83, presentation is everything. Don't ever forget that. Sometimes someone just wants to own the book, and that's 100% okay.
Actual retail price?
Either way, the buyer only ended up paying $4,200 for this book, $200 off the asking price, and $445 off that last sale.
That's how Dad did it. That's how America does it. And it's worked out pretty well so far.
And finally, at the top spot, not only was this book the elite deal of the day, but it was on one of the hottest comics on the market right now, a massive first appearance. You guys see it. It was a copy of Fantastic Four number 5, the first appearance of Dr. Doom, offered up in a CGC 6.0 with off-white to white pages. Elite deal of the day was $10,950. Before I give you guys the sales price, let's check out GPA. As you can see, the last sale for this book was a whopping $11,700 just last month, before we got any news that RDJ was going to be playing Dr. Doom. Let's take a look at that 90-day average, all the way back at $10,350 on 2 sales. So 3 months later, this book has gone up $1,500. The 12-month rolling average, $10,286. Before that, 2023, the average was $10,975. Just for shits and giggles, check out 2022. That makes me sick. $21,524. What was the actual retail price of this book?
Survey says
$9,800, $1,150 under the asking price, and nearly $3,000 under that last sale. Now that is some massive savings on a really hot book. I want to take this time to remind you guys, I am not affiliated with Elite Comics 11 in any way. I'm not telling you to go out and buy any of these books. What I am doing is showing you how good of a deal you can get on Elite Comics 11 and other consignment pages. You guys know I buy all my books via Instagram for the most part, or at least at local shows. So like always, guys, be careful out there. Buy the books that you want to keep in your collection for the long term. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.